And we're back. Hello, BC Wrestle Pod nerddom out there, and welcome back to the NXT Losos, the sexiest NXT review show out there. Of course, it's been 2 weeks, but I am finally back. My name is Mikey. I am also known as El Jefe here around the BC Wrestle Pod parts. Joining me, as always, is the Kiltman, the Fleet Father, El Blanquito to some, the Grandmaster Poobah of all things, and we're just adding all sorts of names to each other.
Oh my God! Grandmaster Poobah. We gotta figure out how we can make sooner or later it's just gonna be just text, not my face, just text of all these new little, uh, um, whatever it for me.
Just you have so many nicknames at this point. But I also need to thank him because he's been holding down NXT for the last 2 weeks as I'm getting back into the swing of another school year. So it has been a busy and eventful 2 weeks is the nicest way of putting it. But uh, fun stuff coming through and possible announcement at the end, but we'll talk about all of that coming up shortly. But it is the Go Home Show edition of NXT. We're going to be talking about the Tuesday, August 25th edition of NXT. And we will also be making predictions for NXT Heatwave, which is happening this Sunday. It's going to be a long weekend. Anywho. So, without further ado, of course, we go live, social media, BC WrestlePod, merch, coffee, help pay for pay-per-views. Let's get into this. So, the actual show for NXT this week, I mean, it's a go-home show. Lots of great matches, lots of talky talks. So we're gonna focus on what is kind of important, but not really. But also, yeah, let's do this. We just started off with a hot one though, because we kicked NXT off this week with our weaponized steel cage match between Dark State's Dion Lennox, and then of course everybody's favorite wrestler with a producer tag, like he's an actual hip hop producer, Saquon Sugars. I want to see Saquon. I will never get tired of it.
Oh, it's so good.
Shout out to the NXT audience too. Be like hyping up Saquon on his way in too. I was just like, yes, Saquon is exactly where he needs to be. This is the nail in the coffin. This is the final hurrah for this feud. Everything has led to this weaponized steel cage match. And this was a really, really fun match. I mean, they had some great spots in here, great use of the weapons and the cage. The only real bummer about this is I felt like they called an audible at the end because the table broke before it was supposed to. But it is what it is. Really good stuff, and really happy to see Saquon win. And hopefully that means that he can move on from his feud with Dark State.
That was hilarious when that table broke. I'm like, are you fucking serious? He just put him on there. He ain't done anything yet. Sigma was like, all right, let's go. But damn, he got up there. Like, I thought there was a moment later in this night where someone got some serious air, but literally the top of that cage is about even with the top row of the stands. It's about even with the top of the stands, because usually where I'm sitting, like sometimes when I'm in like when I'm in the second or third row, I'm about like top rope, if not the top of the rope bar, or in at least in that area. But no, it's up there. That is that is and the ceiling isn't that much higher. Like if he was like maybe 6 inches taller, Saquon probably could have just leapt off and just grabbed the rafters and gone, "Wee, look at me," and then dropped.
Seriously, literally hanging from the rafters would have been insane work.
But that was amazing. They could have done more, and I would have been absolutely enamored. I love the way they did the cage. It looked great. It fit really well. this was all in all an amazing moment. I think this was great.
Really, like I said, really good stuff, and hopefully that means both men can move on to different things. But Saquon's going to be amazing here in NXT, so I'm happy to have him. But after our weaponized steel cage match, we get quickly backstage. Tony D'Angelo looked like a Jersey dad coming from vacation with these sunglasses. Um, and it's exactly what we expect on a go home show before championship matches are had. He calls out his opponents, runs them down, says that he's going to be retaining the championship. He beat four men to win the championship, and now he will be happy to do the same again, defending it against the others. That's all I have to say. We can move on to the next thing. And move on to we shall, because Sarah Schreiber meets up with the Vanity Project at a bowling alley as Vanity Project sits down and talks to Sarah, you know, talking about how their journey in WWE has gone so far, and that come Heat Wave, they're planning to bring all the golds back to the Vanity Project. And I'm like, good luck.
I hope, I hope Madam Blackheart turns on all three of them, because holy, that whole entire segment was hard to watch. And not what's his face pulling out the fucking cheater roller to roll the ball. I'm like, are you serious? Did
This
you
was really
seriously just
cringe.
do this on national television, on the CW,
By the
on our
way,
Christian Working Network? I don't know what the
that's
fuck
true.
CW means.
Kilt, as a quick correction, so that is not, it's not Nikki Blackheart. This is Micah Lockwood.
Fuck! I always forget her name. I always forget Micah's name. It's always something. And I
Lockwood, just if we're gonna
Lockwood,
call
Lockwood,
it
Lockwood,
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 Micah
Lockwood,
Lockwood.
Micah Lockwood. I'm so sorry. I'm always. Let me be clear.
Both of them are just as
Mike,
beefy and powerful, though. So honest mistake.
both are amazing, amazing wrestlers, and I absolutely love both of them. And I think Micah is very underutilized right now because she's attached to the frat boys, and I honestly hope she gets rid of them quickly. Because it's just it's so much garbage. I like the first couple of times where Jackson Drake is coming out on her shoulders was kind of cool and funny, but every time, like, I don't know, I get it, she's strong, she's a badass, but you look like a little skinny bitch on her shoulders.
But I
Next
wonder
thing
if
I
that's
know, she's gonna have a collar on him, like
a
you know,
dog.
here, boy.
But I wonder if that's the whole thing, though. Like, well, maybe not necessarily for Micah, but like for Vanity Project, because I mean, they're literally frat boys. They're douchies. So I'm just like, I mean,
I
they did their job. I don't like them in terms of like their gimmick and everything, because in real life, I can't stand frat boys. But
They're again, yeah, you are correct. They are doing their gimmick very, very well. I really hate them. It sucks that they're pretty decent wrestlers too, and it just. Ugh. But I still love what Kendall Gray said last week, that Micah's the vanity and they're the project.
seriously, I was like, yes,
Bird.
Kendall, we love it.
I love her.
So, Vanity Project has a plan. We will see if it comes to fruition this Sunday. But moving on from this sit down with Sarah Schreiber, Jada Parker has had enough of Natty and her nonsense. You know, it was one thing to come after her, but now they be attacking Thea and doing damage to both of them. Jada has had enough. There's only one way to settle this, and that is with a match. And so Natty and Jada Parker at Heatwave are going to have a submissions match, which means the only way to win is to submit your opponent, because Natty thinks that Jada doesn't have what it takes, but Ms. Parker over here thinks she does, and she is willing to beat Natty at her own game to prove a point. So we got another match made for Heatwave from this episode. So very interesting to see how this plays out on Sunday.
Natty, the overrated legend.
Hey, you
Just
leave Natty alone. I feel like she's been overexposed in the last couple weeks here in
she
NXT,
has.
but at least she's on my television screen. Lord knows, for some reason, main roster don't want to put her up there, which I don't understand why, but whatever.
Well, we
That's
all
just
know
me.
Triple K. He can't book anything. It takes the likes of Shawn Michaels and uh Mark what's his name,
Callaway.
Calloway. Thank you. Um, yeah, Mark Calloway to actually run the show properly and book properly. But hey, what do I know? I don't just see AAA doing better than main roster. I don't see NXT doing better than main roster. I don't see freaking. Bless me. Sorry. I apologize for those whose ears I just sneezed into. My bad. I didn't mute fast enough. Give me like 2 seconds. You know what? I'm going to tell you all a quick dad joke. Um, how do you make a hanky dance? Put a little boogie into it. Oh, sorry guys. I'm trying to get healthy. My house is sick and I'm trying to fight it off. But anywho, I like this finally coming to a conclusion, and Natty and Jada are finally going to be done. Oh my god, this was so overdone. This was so overdone 5 matches ago. This was so overdone. I I'm not saying Natty is a bad talent, but it's just it was overexposed. It was over. Welcome back. It was just extra, and I'm like, I like Natty. She's good people's, but can we move on, please?
I
Not
really
saying
hope, yeah, I really hope this is it for both of them too. So I feel that I'm hoping that Heat Wave, this is it for both of them, and they both can move on to different stuff. Like, honestly, because we've been telling this story since, shoot, what, the spring at least? I don't know.
I lost track because it's like Natty. Like a week or two go by, Natty. A week goes by, Natty, 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 Natty. I'm like, can we, let's wrap this up. Like we don't need to be slow burning 3 different PLEs just to get a tease of a breakup, so someone can sit there with their title and not defend it for over 100 days. And you know whatever.
Whatever, man.
Moving
Anyways,
on.
yes, because
This was a
Keanu
good
Carver,
match.
yeah, Keanu Carver did everyone a favor and beat Cam Hendricks. Two things, of course, Mason Rooks gets involved, helping Keanu get the win. But more importantly, and maybe it's just me, Keanu looked like he was having a lot of fun in this ring trying out some new stuff. Like, that suplex was beautiful to
It was
watch.
gorgeous. Like I think he's like you could even hear it in the commentary between Vic and Booker last night. Um, you know, they started off like Booker and Keanu started off rough, but then it started, they started realizing, their each other's strength and started listening and started actually having a good, a better relationship. I won't say a good one, just a better one all together. And I think Keanu's character is changing for the better because this calm, collective, and like methodical Keanu is damn scary as shit. Because it's like, whoo, he when he offered Stone the coffee, it's like, have some coffee, Stone. Have some coffee. Oh shit. It's just that flex. I'm like, okay, yes, Daddy. Oh, let's not do this today.
That's
Mike, come get your man.
for reals. But really fun stuff. Mason and Cam, there has to be some sort of blow off down the line between these two, which I'm okay with. But Keanu Carver picks up the win here. Really good things for him. Really happy to see him heading in this direction. And I'm really digging Keanu, man. I really am.
I am too.
Anyways, moving on though. Girl, I love you
Can we
to death.
skip?
Yeah. So it's basically the same thing. I will say though, I did appreciate that this one was less whiny and she did state facts every time that she challenged for big titles. She has a track record of on the first time, going after it, being able to grab it. That she was the inaugural NXT Women's North American Champion. She won the TNA Championship in enemy territory to become the TNA Knockouts Champion. And now she's going up for the NXT Women's Championship for the first time, and her track record speaks. So I appreciate that this one was a little less whiny. And unfortunately, later on, when we get to the summit at the very end of the show, is where this was kind of thrown out the window. It's like, we were doing so good, and then you ruined it at the end. But, anyways, moving on though, because Zilla, I love you. I love you. I love you so.
Hello.
I love you, Zilla. But of course, we all know he got some promo work to do because this is not House of Glory independent wrestling anymore. We gotta fine tune that. I will say though, Zilla is very chill and he is a really cool person in real life. Like he was our neighbor when I went to the wrestling convention in New Jersey with Adolfo and JVL and Jesse. Like for the 2 days we were there, Zilla was cool, man. But he talks about his family history, but he is also here. He is not riding on the coattails of the name. He's not here to be a Nepo baby, a bloodline Nepo, you know, a Samoan Nepo. He's here to make a name for himself, and he don't care who he has to go through. So I was just like, I love the message, Zilla. We just got to work on the delivery a little bit, but I am happy to see you here in NXT. Enough promo for what we're getting on Sunday, so this is going to be an interesting match going into it. So, yeah, moving on. Callie Armstrong, I love you, girl. So the writing was on the wall with this one after we got this match set up last week, where if Callie could beat Zarya in a non-title match, she would be added into the Women's Speed Championship and Women's NXT North American Championship unification match. And so this was a fun enough like quick match that we got between the two. Spoiler alert, Callie Armstrong is able to roll up Zarya, so Callie is now added to the match. So now it is a triple threat. Yeah, it was fine enough. I like Callie. I like Zarya. I can't wait for Sunday.
Sunday's gonna be very interesting. In all honesty, the speed match it should be a PC exclusive in my personal feeling. It should be like either on Evolve or on NXT, and it should yes, it should encompass all the brands, but it shouldn't be it shouldn't be on Raw, it shouldn't be on SmackDown. It could be on Saturday Night Main Event if you wanted, or on another PLE, but any speed matches should be like in a small atmosphere where the speed is better felt. If I'm making that sense.
An NXT and Evolve exclusive title. I would love to see the Speed Championship travel to Evolve. Like
it would work great with Evolve as well because they are trying to get it. It's a one-off title. It's not it's not as classic as the 24/7 champion.
Mm-hmm.
Or well, the 24/7, 7-Eleven, 995.
R-Truth and Tamina made that title great. Like, anywho.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, so Callie is in the match on Sunday. Very fun stuff. We'll make predictions here towards the end of the show. Oh my God, this match was everything. This match was so good, especially from our babyface team. This literally was just nonstop reversals, everybody flying everywhere. Like everybody was doing great stuff. But my MVP obviously is Dorian Von Dukes, like DVD man, like being a big man and flying and got the hops and everything. This was everything. This was everything. This is my favorite match of the night.
I wish you had a screen cap of that air because we talked about freaking Saquon touching rafters. how do you touch the rafters off the top damn rope? Like, holy shit. He went flying. Like,
And I knew he was good. Finally, man, finally people get to see him because I got, again, Dorian Von Dukes, formerly known as Mike DeVecchio in the European wrestling scene. Loved him in Progress, love him here. Super Sean Legacy, the crowd loves him. Noam Dar, Romeo Moreno. This team of four is great. And you know what? I got to give kudos to Birthright because they kept up too. They were also pulling out stuff too. This was a hella fun match, honestly.
it was great. I love this match. Obviously I don't like the ending because I just don't like Birthright. But and I'm gonna always speak great things about Romeo because he came over and hung out with a bunch of the fans the night that I took the mini kill with me. That was cool for me. But you know what? This was I want more. I want more. I want them to run it back again, and I want Birthright to get smashed. Just smash.
Yeah, honestly, this match, again, like I said, was my favorite of the night. Everybody pulled their part. I would love to see another go around down the line between everyone involved. Good stuff all around. Shiloh Hill talks to Robert Stone. He wants a match against Naraku and for what happened last week, and Robert Stone gives the match. So next week we are getting Shiloh Hill versus Naraku.
I love Shiloh. He's so fucking hysterical. His videos now about the poisons he got are hilarious. But like in this, he's sitting there having the technical conversation, and Stone's like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
For reals.
Fine, yes, go have the thing. I don't care. Leave me alone. You're confusing the shit out of my pea brain.
Be like, gosh.
Leave my pebble brain alone.
So, yeah, man, I'm just like, this is gonna be fun for sure. I am looking forward to everything. So next week is gonna be Naraku and Shiloh Hill. So should be an interesting match. Uh uh by the way, the second hour, the matches in second hour, by far amazing stuff. This was this was also really good too. And I'm gonna be honest, I think I had two favorite matches of the entire night. This is tied for my favorite match of the night. This is the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. You know, Animo himself, Rey Fenix, defending the title against EK Prosper. God, this match ruled. They flying. This is lucha libre. I'm gonna say something that might be a little controversial to some, but I don't care because I think it's true. I think between any champion right now on Raw, NXT, and SmackDown across the board, I think Rey Fenix is probably my favorite champion right now and is doing the best as a champion because this man has more defenses than most of our top champions right now on main roster. And he's traveling between different brands.
You are correct because well,
I would say
it's
at least
it's a
men's
wash.
champion. Yeah.
Yeah, men's champion. Well, I mean, let's go over the women's champion. Or the women's champions. They almost hurt Chelsea again if they didn't hurt her again. Now, granted, it was probably just a work, but there was a medical concern about her the last time she wrestled recently when she had her mask on. So Liz doesn't fucking defend her championship. I don't even think Raquel has defended her championship. There's
It's been like 3 weeks, so we'll see what happens.
yeah. So and Zarya is defending her championship on Sunday, but she did an amazing job anyways.
At least Zarya is wrestling on television. Like even Liv isn't wrestling on television in title or non-title matches. At least Zarya is wrestling.
You know what? I think Roxanne Perez needs to go ape shit on both of them. Wait.
On both of Judgment Day just needs to fall
Yeah,
apart.
they just need to
And
fall apart because
we can talk about this till the cows come home, but let's circle back because I really want to focus on these two because my
this
goodness,
was actually a lot of fun.
seriously, like, and I know I just said we got to kind of circle it back, but it is tangentially related to, again, Rey Fenix and EK had a really good match, really utilizing the mat and the air as their weapons of choice. Again, like I said, I apply the same thing I said to Saquon earlier to EK, man. Like, he is going to be given enough time and given more things to do on NXT. I think he's another one that's going to be really, really good for NXT.
I wanted to see EK with Javon Evans
Mm-hmm.
because those are two because this match specifically showcased how high flying and how fast and how agile EK is. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that it would have been a great opportunity to see the both of them go at it. It just that would be so much fun, and especially if we can get the young OG back, just for like even if it's a one time, have those three go at it. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, phenomenal!
Phenomenal stuff. Rey Fenix retains the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. So Rey Fenix has his work cut out for him. Rey Fenix will be teaming up with his brother Penta and Dragon Lee, and they're going to be taking on Perros del Mal this Sunday at AAA's Ola de Calor show, which is before Heat Wave. And then it's going to be Penta versus Rey Fenix on Monday Night Raw to see who is going to be facing Roman Reigns at Mexico City on September 14th for the World Championship. Regardless of who wins, I'm pretty sure it's Penta, but Rey Fenix versus Penta, get ready, y'all. They better give it time. It's about to probably be my match of incoming match of the year candidate, possibly. But again, I would love to see Rey and EK running back at some point. So good stuff all around. We properly end the show like we normally do with these big like summits where everybody comes out, talks mess. Grayson Waller being misogynistic. Which I don't care that it was a character choice. That the way he said it, I was just like, oh, ew, no. But then brawl breaks out, everybody's bodies flying, people fighting. You know, Zilla Fatu and Ren QCC are standing tall at the end of this. That is how NXT goes off the air.
I look, Captain Cocaine Jack there needs to chill the fuck out. Like, dude, you chose to get to come down to NXT to better yourself. All I've seen you do is bitch and moan. You've had one match, and now you're in a four way for a title shot. Technically, you didn't even earn it. You're just in it. Honestly, I don't think he deserves it. I think the only one out of that, besides Tony, that deserves it. Obviously, Tony fought for that championship. I think he should probably keep it. But obviously, I want Zilla because I want the real one with that gold, with that silvery gold, because technically it's silver, or platinum gold, whatever. I want him to have that championship around his shoulder because I think he deserves it because he's fucking Zilla. Anyway,
That's very true. Alrighty, so that brings us to the end of our NXT post show. So the last thing we got going on though is now the Pleats Father and I are going to be making our predictions for Heatwave. So let me get this in proper. Alrighty, kids, welcome to the predictions portion of our show. Like I said before, the Pleat Father and I are going to be making our predictions for NXT Heat Wave. So it is happening this Sunday, August 30th. And it is going to be a busy night for folks who watch more than one promotion because you got AAA Ola de Calor at like 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then at 12 p.m. Pacific, you have NXT Heat Wave, and sandwiched in between all that at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, you got AEW's All In Wembley, why you must do this, WWE. But whatever. Let's get into this. We have 6 matches that we got to make predictions for. So in no particular order, let's get into this. Let's start with our submissions match. So literally, this is the newest match made. Um, this is the newest match made for Heatwave. The only way to win this match is going to be to submit your opponent. So Jada, the story going into this is that Natty and Jada have kind of been feuding since the spring a little bit, and then Natty recruited women, our WWE Women's Evolve champion Nikita Lyons, as well as Carmen Petrovich, to kind of be a part of the dungeon. And so Jada has been fighting her way through them, and then she was able to also recruit Thea Hale, who has beef with the dungeon as well. Natty and crew have been beating up on Thea, and last week, like, we're overdoing it with Thea. And so Jada has had enough. And so she's challenged Natty to her own game, and thus this match is made. We said it during the post show. I really hope this is the end of the feud for these two so both of them can move on to different things. And because I hope this is the end, there's only one way that I want this to go. I think Jada should be the one to beat Natty at her own game here. So I'm going to go with Miss Parker to be the one to win this match.
Agreed. I want Miss Jada to win this shit. Get on.
So, moving on to our next match. For the NXT Tag Team Championship, Miles Bourne is going to have his work cut out for him as double champ here. But we have the Vanity Project in the form of Ricky Smokes and Brad Baylor taking on the champions, Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights. So, the way that this has happened is the Vanity Project boys have been wanting to get a rematch for their tag team championships, but Robert Stone was not allowing it to happen because the tag team scene was going through a lot of stuff and lots of tag teams wanted an opportunity of it. But Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights offered the Vanity Project that if they could win a match, they would get their shot. These boys won their match, and thus this is how we're getting it. So we have a lot of gas left in the tank for our new champs. So I am going to go with Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights to retain. I don't think they should take the tag titles off of these boys, especially because I want Tavion to get a couple more defenses before they take it off of him, since this is his first NXT Gold here since being a part of NXT. So I'm going with Miles and Tavion for this one.
I'm always going to go with Miles and Tavion on this one because I don't like the freaking Vanity Project. And as much as some people say that, yes, we all openly admit that they are very good at being a heel, at being their frat boy douchiness. They don't deserve to be the champs again. Honestly, if anybody deserves to get that championship title ship back around their waist, I think it would be my boys Hank and Tank. But I want Tavion to have more gold time.
Oh, 100%. So let's keep going though. Next up, we're going to talk about our unification match. So this is going to unify the WWE Women's Speed Championship and the NXT Women's North American Championship. This is a triple threat match now since Callie Armstrong won her match on the Go Home show by pinning Zarya. And so, therefore, she has been added to this match. But Ren and Zarya have been kind of orbiting each other and fighting each other over the last couple of weeks over the Women's North American Championship and the Speed Championship. And now we're unifying the titles here. Of the three of them, and I love Ren with all my little heart, but I think she would do really well to be a chasing babyface to wanting the title. So I'm going to go with Zarya here to unify the titles. be the unified champion, and then her and Ren can feud proper with the babyface chasing the heel champion and eventually getting that win down the line. So I'm gonna go with Zarya for this one.
I went with Ren, because I just want Ren to succeed. Um, I want Ren to win. Not saying that that Madame Armstrong isn't a great wrestler, isn't deserving of this title, just not yet.
No, but I do think this is a big opportunity for Callie to showcase more of what
Oh
she
yeah,
can do in a pay-per-view setting for NXT now that she's a part of the roster. So I'm looking forward to this. So honestly, I would be me personally, I would be happy either way. I think these three are really great champions for our women's division for the mid card. And I think you can build really fun programs with either one of them being champions. But let's leave them because we are going to head into our second match that Miles is going to have to be in for Heatwave, this time for the NXT North American Championship. So Miles Bourne, the champion, defending the title against the Vanity Project's Jackson Drake. This also came about if Jackson won a match, he could get there. And so Jackson did. And therefore, he gets this opportunity. I'm still going to pick Miles Bourne to retain the NXT North American Championship. We I still don't think that it is time to take the title off of him. And yeah, that's all I have for this. I think Vanity Project kind of spiraling a little bit after nobody being able to win and get championship gold at Heatwave would be a more interesting development is say if one or all of them ended up with gold by the end of the night. But I'm gonna go with Miles to retain here in this match.
I agree. Miles to retain. Fuck Jackson Drake. I hope I hope Micah turns on him.
Or cost them somehow. That'd be amazing.
I want something from Micah from this. I think that would just be pure joy for me. All right. Anyway,
Yeah, so this should be a I still think this is going to be a fun match. All the matches I'm looking forward to. But let's keep going. So now we're getting into the heavy territory with our big title matches. So first up, we have the NXT Women's Championship, Kendall Gray defending the title against Kalani Jordan. So Kendall being able to beat Lola Vice for the championship and defend it against her in an underground match in a rematch and beating Lola on in her own territory. Which, by the way, sidebar, shout out to Lola. She will be debuting on Raw in Mexico City Monday, September 14th. So, really excited to have Lola go to the Raw brand. So, she definitely needs definitely needs some power in the Raw women's division right now. I want to see her and Raquel go at it. Would be amazing stuff. But, anywho, back to our NXT girlies here. The way that we got this match settled is that Kalani Jordan kept complaining, which, what else is new? But Kendall had the cojones to be like, all right, Kalani, we're not going to do this every single week. How you keep saying that you're screwed, that you got screwed over, that you didn't win, that X, Y, and Z is why you couldn't do it. So here it is. And she offered Kalani a contract. She's like, just sign it anywhere, anytime, name the place and date. And Kalani Jordan says, okay, at Heatwave, we're going to have this title match. Kendall says, bet, and here we are. I think this match is going to be really fun. I think it's going to be really good. I think this is going to be so much fun because both of them in their own right have very unique offenses. I am going to say, though, that Kendall, despite her track record with Kalani getting it done and winning the first time going after these championships, I'm going to have Kendall Gray retain here. So I'm going to pick Kendall to win this match and retain the NXT Women's Championship.
agreed. Fully agree.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, this last one is gonna be interesting. So we have a fatal four-way match for the NXT Championship. So this is gonna be a fun one. And somebody on the internet had a parallel of Heatwave, what was it, last year or 2 years ago, where you have a champion from the 2.0 version of NXT when we went to the Nickelodeon, like colorful slime era of NXT after Black and Gold. You have one of the hottest new independent signees, which is Zillapot 2. you have somebody come on over from the main roster, and then you have somebody from another company who's been gone for a long time doing his thing all over the world, and now he is here in NXT too. And this is a parallel to the Fatal 4-Way that we got at Heat Wave a year or two ago with Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Sean Spears, and All Ego Ethan Page. So similar stuff. This is another Fatal 4-Way. NXT seems to thrive lately with their NXT Men's Championship being defended in Fatal 4-Ways. Honestly, this is going to be crazy to say. I can make an argument for either for one of these four men to win, but because I don't know where we're going and looking at all the options, this one's tough. But before I make my pick, really quickly, the story going into this is that Waller and Cruz, Montana, were supposed to compete in a one-on-one for the number one contendership. Zilla made his debut and whooped both of them. And so Tony said, I'll defend it against all of y'all. So now here we are in this Fatal 4-Way. I don't know, man. This is tough, but I'm going to go with Tony. Like, Tony, I feel like we still got a couple of things left for him. So I'm going to go with Tony D'Angelo. But if I had to pick a second, I would probably put it on Zilla if they really want to fast track the kid. But I'm going to go with Tony to win the championship, or Tony to retain the championship and walk out as NXT champion.
I'm gonna be basic bitch and go Zilla Fatu. He's gonna triple S everyone, and they're gonna go to sleep. That's it. And Mama Fatu is gonna be happy. I hope. Here's what I hope Zilla and the crew do. They bring Mama Fatu to Mama Zilla to Edinburgh. Edinburgh. I don't care how they pronounce it. I know how I pronounce it. Fucking
Texas.
Texas can text these. Never mind. Moving on. I know we're far enough, and I could probably say it, but anyway. Hope she's there, watching her baby boy get that championship, because that would be pure gold for me. I would love every minute for that. I hope that she gets to see her son in a PLE in person, and is able to watch him win. That's what I want. I also don't want Grayson Waller to win. I want him to be maxed around like the baby bitch he is.
If I had to put an order of who I want to win, obviously for predictions, Tony's my number one pick. Then I would go Zilla. Then I would go with Cruz, not because I don't think he should, but at the bottom of my list, the very bottom of the list is Grayson. But I don't know, man. I like Chaos Gremlin in me. Grayson could be fun as a champion and just absolutely just be a complete booty hole and just like nobody likes him as champion and just troll it up. So I'll be like, that's the Chaos Gremlin in me. But for my sanity, I'm hoping that Tony or Zilla walks out as champion.
Oh, it's going to be Tony or Zilla. Cruz Montana is a close second. Grayson Waller's not even in the picture.
No, so we'll see how it happens, because NXT likes to pull stunts. Like, I didn't think All Ego Ethan Page was going to win the NXT championship, only being in the company for like 3 weeks, but crazier things have happened. So, all right, kids, that's it. Those are our predictions officially locked in for Heat Wave. And that brings us to the end of our NXT post show. This Sunday, you will see the predictions portion of this post show go up as a separate video. So that's going to go up at 9 a.m. Pacific, about 3 hours before the start of Heat Wave. So really good stuff. I cannot wait. So that's it for us here tonight, but we still got a lot of things coming up. Later tonight, Papa Oso and I are going to be talking about some CMLL stuff. Then on Friday, Radio Will and I will be covering our next TNA pay-per-view that happened this past weekend, TNA Lockdown, which every single match was a cage match with different rules and stipulations. Like we had a last man standing, escape the cage, lethal lockdown. We saw blood. We saw craziness. We saw Mustafa Ali and Jason Hodge probably have like one of the best matches of the month. and probably my favorite match, which is great. Good stuff all around. But we got a very packed week next week as well. This weekend, wrestling is taking over the UK. So we're going to be covering a lot of stuff. Just to give you a quick preview, Monday, we got our Eve versus the World 2 show, in which Kaylee Ray is going to be challenging Miyu Yamashita for the Eve International Championship. Then Tuesday, we got the AEW All In pay-per-view post show. Wednesday, Kilt and I will be putting on both of our alter egos for both AAA and NXT, as not only are we going to be covering AAA's Ola de Calor show, but we will also be talking about NXT Heatwave. So you got two shows for the price of one. Then CMLL. Then we got TNA. And then we're on Saturday as a special review. I will be talking about next Saturday. I will be talking about Stardom's 5-star GP Grand Prix tournament finals. The girls of Japan did it, man. They brought us some really great action. But Kilt and I gotta get up on out of here. So, really quick announcement. Kilt and I are going to briefly talk about this, but starting next week, we potentially may see NXT move to a different day of the week. Kilt and I are going to iron out those details here after the show. But just to let you all know, we may have the show move to Thursdays or some other day. Kilt and I are going to figure it out. So, but all good stuff. We're not going anywhere. NXT is not leaving because it's probably one of the better WWE shows that I watch on a weekly basis, and I don't want to not do this with Kilt because he's my man. He's my homie. So from all of us here at BC Wrestle Pod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. I will see you later tonight for CMLL with me and Papa Oso. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.